In this video, we are going to look into Node.js tools for Visual Studio. In order to have Node.js tools for Visual Studio to be installed on your machine, you should already have Node.js and Node Package Manager already installed. So those two are the prerequisites before even installing Node.js. So if you did not install Node.js or npm on your machine, please follow my previous two videos accordingly. So the easiest way to install Node.js or npm is just by going through Node.js directly and just click install. So the moment you click install, it will be automatically going to guide you on the paths and the npm package manager and everything is almost straightforward, and you can just get Node.js and npm installed. Once you have Node.js and npm installed, make sure that those are added to path. So whenever I mentioned added to path, the first thing is that go to your command prompt and just type in node. You should be able to get a prompt from the node whenever it is successfully installed. So in this case, now you can see I can just type in .help, for which I am having node repl commands to be executed, and .exit to come out of node. And similarly, I can say npm just to check if node package manager is installed. So in this case, I have npm version 2.10.1 already installed on my machine. So Node.js and npm, both of those are going to be automatically installed and added to the path the moment you go through the Node.js installation process, which I covered in depth in previous of my two videos. So in this case, I would like to have Node.js tools for Visual Studio to be installed. So before even installing that stuff, I just wanted to show you what are all the currently available JavaScript project types you have as part of Visual Studio. So the moment you type in file, new project, so let us see what are all the various templates we have. So in this case, you have Visual Basic, C# and so on, and we have TypeScript and JavaScript. So if you open JavaScript, you can see I have store apps or multi-device hybrid or whatever, and similarly I have TypeScript, essentially just only the hybrid in this case. So once you install Node.js for Visual Studio Tools, you are going to find more templates in this section. So let us install Node.js for Visual Studio first. So make sure that Visual Studio is closed while you are installing Node.js for Visual Studio. You open your browser and just type in Node.js tools for Visual Studio 2013 in this case. So which automatically gives the first link to codeplex.com. Go in there and download that particular installation file. And once I have the installation file, all you have to do is just execute it and just accept the terms, click install. It will be asking for some confirmation, so just press S. So it looks like we got Node.js tools for Visual Studio successfully installed. Just click finish. So prior to clicking finish, you can also see that it is asking us to install Node.js before even starting NTVS. So as I mentioned earlier, we need to have Node.js installed. So as my machine already got Node.js and npm installed, I don't need to go through this step again. So just click finish for now. So close my browser and let us open Visual Studio. And now I go to File, New Project, and let us see what are all the templates I have in here. And now you can see I have the JavaScript, for which there is a special section called Node.js, and as part of this section I have all the necessary templates to work with Node.js in better fashion. So let me open TypeScript, and you can see as part of the TypeScript we already have another section called Node.js. So both of these two will be automatically installed as part of Node.js to Visual Studio Tools. And as I would like to have a new Node.js application to be tested so that we can go through about all the features available in Visual Studio while you are working with Node.js Visual Studio tools. The easiest way is to start with a blank Node.js console application. Of course, you can start with other things like we have. If you already have a Node.js application, you can create a project from there, or if you wanted to link with Azure, you can. Or if you would like to have your own web application to be developed, which will be using the core concepts of Node.js, including the socketing and everything, you can start with this one. Or if you'd like to have Express.js to be used for your web application tier, you can go with this one. And we have other various applications, templates very similar to what we have here. So in this case, I just would like to go with a simple one called blank Node.js console application. So just click OK for now. Okay, so now we already have hello world, which is written using JavaScript. You can see that, and within the solution explorer you can also see, like, I have a project with the same name as I asked it to work with, and at the same time it has got an npm branch exclusively for the npm or say node packages. So this is very similar to our references folder, whatever we are going to have in ASP.NET or other .NET applications. But essentially, whenever you'd like to have any kind of node packages to be installed or brought forward into your application, then we are going to use this stuff. But anyway, before even going further, this is the first file where the application is going to be starting its execution, and in this case I would like to have hello world to be executed, shown to the user. So once I click start, which means essentially I'm asking it to start and execute it. So it is asking for my firewall, so I just play allow access, and now you can see I got hello world. And you can have any of that kind of information, like you can use any of the JavaScripts including variable a, b, c, all of that stuff to be used whenever you would like to have JavaScript applications to be executed on Node.js platform. So let me close this and let me start it again, and now I have hello world again. Okay, so on top of whatever we have right now, whenever you would like to have the node related command prompt to be opened, you can always do that in a couple of ways. For the first thing is that when you right click here, you are going to see open command prompt here. So this is nothing but you are going to the DOS prompt directly, the command prompt. So it will be directly opening your particular command prompt into the same application folder whatever you have here. So once you have in here, all you have to do is and you can just say something like node commands, whatever you might have, or npm commands you might have. You can use any of those particular commands in order to manage your particular Node.js application. So this is one way. Once you are into the command prompt, you can work with all of the npm commands as I have shown in my previous video. Similarly, Node.js commands as I have shown in another video. So all of those commands are valid. You can install, update, or uninstall all of your particular packages right at the command prompt, whatever you are going to say here, or there are a couple more methods on how you can accomplish the same. So for example, imagine I would like to have a kind of package to be installed. So in this case I would like to go for _.js. That is the package I would like to install in my particular application. So the easiest way, if you are already familiar with npm commands, go with npm install _ that is the name of the package I would like to install, and then I can say -- save. So the moment you say in this fashion, what happens is that it is going to install underscore into your particular application, that is the package it is going to install, and the dash dash save will essentially update package.json. So if you open package.json for now, you can see that it does not have any dependencies, but the moment I execute this command, it is going to install this package underscore into our application, and not only that, as I am using dash dash save, it is going to update package.json as well. So let me press enter here, and now you can see it has automatically installed underscore version 1.8.3, which is the latest at this time. And at the same time, if you switch back to package.json, you can see it is asking something has changed, press yes, and now you can see even the dependencies have been added. So this is one way to actually install any kind of packages you would like to have, and all of the related commands like uninstall, update, listing, all of those commands whatever I explained in my previous video for Node Package Manager are still valid here, and all of those are going to be applicable for this application the moment you start and work within the same folder as part of the command prompt. So let me exit from here. So as I said, there are quite a few number of ways to work with this one. So let us look into a couple more. As we already covered the command prompt, let us go through another one, which is interactive window. So this is essentially nothing but excuse it is nothing but Node.js prompt. So if you are familiar with Node.js commands, like if I go to command prompt and whenever you type in node, you are actually provided with that particular prompt. That is exactly the same prompt whatever you have here as part of Visual Studio. So now I just wanted to say .exit and close this command prompt for now. But in this case, I can actually type in whatever the Node.js commands are available. So if I say .help, it is going to give us all the help related stuff. So I can say .cls for clearing the screen, and similarly I can still go with all the npm commands by just typing .npm and then providing whatever I would like to have. So in this case I would like to uninstall whatever I already installed earlier, so I can say npm uninstall underscore dash dash save. So which means I'm trying to uninstall the one which has been already installed here and remove the same from package.json. All of this you are actually doing so using Node.js interactive window. So the moment I type in here, now you can see it has said like uninstall successful, and just press yes, and now you can see the dependencies are empty and it also removed underscore from your package. So in that way we can have any kind of package to be installed or uninstalled either from interactive window or from command prompt. So apart from these two ways, there is one more way for which most of the Visual Studio developers will be familiar with, which is you can just right click here, not here, on the npm, right click here and then go for install new npm packages. Not only that, if you are having any of the packages currently listed as part of package.json but they are missing in one way or another, you can go with this option. If you would like to update all of your packages or any of those particular packages with the latest versions, then you can go with update as well. So you can use any of these particular options, and they are UI based and not command line at all. So the moment I say install new npm package, you can see it is going to essentially load all the respective index of the packages list which is made available as part of Node.js directory online. So it is going to build up everything, and all of that building of indexes is going to be stored locally in the form of a cache, and that is going to be displayed immediately. So just give it a couple of seconds in order to get that information out. So there we go. Now after having all of the cache prepared, now we can search for whatever the packages you would like to have. So in this case, the moment I type in underscore, now you can see this is exactly what it is asking for, what we are asking for, and we can select whatever the package we need, the moment we select it, you can see we get all the respective information, and we can also choose in which direction it needs to be installed, either in the standard or global, which means globally available for all the applications, or development or other options. So in this case I would like to go for standard, and this is the option which says if I install this, please make a note in package.json so that it will be always made as part of dependencies. So if any other third-party developer wants to install your node module, it is going to list out all the dependencies so that he can understand our particular project and what are all the packages my project is really depending upon. So it is really good idea to have all of the dependencies to be listed as part of package.json. So once we have that already checked, the next thing is that just click install. So the moment I click install now, you can see I already got underscore.1.8.3. Click close, and it is asking to refresh this file. Just press yes, and you can see I already have underscore.js to be installed. So in order to test this particular underscore library for now, so the easiest way is that you need to import it, and the way to import that particular library into your application page is using require and the name of that particular package, and you got the entire object, which is essentially nothing but an instance of that particular package. So now I can say u.each, and I can say something like any of the array here. In this case I would like to say 1 2 3, that is the array, and I would like to execute a function for each of those particular elements. So which means each of those elements are going to be available as part of m, which means this function is going to be executed for each and every particular element available in that array. So after that I would like to have that particular element m, whatever the value available inside m, to be displayed onto the console. So I can just say console.log m. So let me give something different. So I would like to have a square of that particular element to be displayed always. So the moment I click on start, you should be able to see 2 4 6. So which means that's exactly I would like to have, which means each of those particular elements have been executed or evaluated using this function, and I'm essentially testing it around. So that is one way of doing things. So the next thing is that we can also have various other ways to do what I say uh, debugging. So Visual Studio is really famous for debugging. So we also wanted to check on how we can have various debugging options currently available as part of this. So you can just press a breakpoint here, so which means you are marking a breakpoint there, which means it has to stop at that breakpoint the moment the runtime hits at that location. So I click start, and now you can see it has already stopped right there. So the moment I go there, you can see it is already giving the value of m, which is nothing but 1 in this case. So I press continue, and now you can see it has stopped for the second, which is nothing but m, and all the related call stack, like from where it is being executed, the breakpoints, command window, immediate window, locals, watch, whatever you are familiar with Visual Studio development, all of those debugging tools are made available for you in order to have any kind of Node.js based applications to be developed. So now that we have some understanding with respect to Node.js Visual Studio tools, you can play around by installing more and more packages from Node, and then start developing your own great Node.js applications.